This is actually my niece. She's a Pacific Island girl, so the mural is titled Where We Belong. It's to represent people of color that have moved to Utah, that have come here to kind of make Utah their home.
Bill Lewis is a mural artist. He was born in Fiji, but now he's a resident of Salt Lake City. He says murals like this are a representation of Utah in 2023, the influx of diverse cultures, including his own, that the state has seen over the last 15 years.
But even 15 years ago, there wasn't really an appetite for murals, and I think that's changed as the culture's changed.
That was local artist Josh Sherman. He says mural art in Salt Lake City has been booming, and it was only a matter of time.
So 100 years, really respectively 150 years, everything was hand painted. So there was just hand painters that would go and create billboards and the front of buildings. And you can still see ghost signs that they're called, which is like the old hand-painted signs that are all worn in downtown Salt Lake, and those are protected now.
From signage to graffiti that was once counterculture displayed on the edges of society, mural art has found its role in the mainstream of an ever-changing Salt Lake City.
Yeah, we do get inquired quite a bit about opportunities for muralists.
Renato Olmedo Gonzalez is the Public Art Program Manager for Salt Lake City Arts Council.
It's a very noble art form in a way that it's one of the easiest ways and simplest ways to really revitalize a space or transform a building. I think murals are a way in which community can see themselves reflected in really important ways. I know a lot of those people, and I'm friends with a couple of their kids.
So how do you create a mural in Salt Lake City?
So a mural is most often one of the easiest artworks to do because it doesn't require permitting.
But creating a mural isn't as easy as finding a blank canvas to practice and paint on. Olmedo Gonzalez says the city isn't allowed to commission a mural on its own unless it's part of a new structure or development.
Fortunately, here in the city, for us, it's kind of difficult to do murals just because of how our funding works. The Public Art Program doesn't have a mural program or a mural initiative. So a lot of the times, it's up to the private developer to just follow local laws and ordinances.
He recommends artists interested in creating murals to keep practicing and keep a lookout for calls for artists, which usually comes from private business owners. Festivals like Mural Fest in South Salt Lake and Midvale City Mural Festival have brought artists from around the country and the world to transform Utah cities into a real-life canvas. Events that local artist Lizzie Wenger says has strengthened the art scene in the Beehive State.
I think here too, art has never been a really big part of the culture. There's a lot of focus on outdoor recreation. So I think a lot of Salt Lake City's residents and businesses are sort of focused on that and have been for a very long time. But I think with more people coming in, there's just more of a drive to expand upon the arts and, put more time and effort into it and kind of grow the art scene here.
While opportunities to create murals have become more abundant in Salt Lake City, being cognizant of which jobs to take, Wenger says, allows for other artists to have a say in the future of their communities.
Muralists have two main responsibilities on the topic of gentrification. One of those being to create that's meaningful and that has a positive impact on a community, and the other one to recognize when a job maybe isn't best suited for you.
Lewis also highlights that the playing field for artists isn't all the same.
I have a lot of family in the Glendale area, a lot of Latin friends, a lot of Pacific Islander friends, and a lot of them don't know how to fill out a request for proposal or a request for qualification. And so it's harder for them to get these projects. And so I hope that in the future, the language of the art can be a little bit easier for some of these emerging artists.
As Salt Lake City continues to grow, murals prove not only to be a source of beautification, but a sign of growth, and for many artists, a source of pride.
So this is the first mural ever painted outside of Valley Fair Mall, and I was the one that painted it.